Thanks for joining us. I'm Jason Zimmerman. We're getting our first look tonight at feedback from Green Bay families about security concerns within Green Bay area public schools. Hundreds of parents and students who attended a roundtable discussion back in September, just 1 week following a weapons incident at Preble High School, also sharing recommendations on how to improve security in the future. Drew Best joins us live in the newsroom with some of the ideas that were shared. Drew.
Jason, we've already seen the rollout of the clear bag policy at the district's middle and high schools, but parents want to see more, and community members are calling primarily for enhanced physical security measures, improved communication, and additional mental health supports from Green Bay area public schools. The district looked into each idea shared at last month's roundtable discussion and have compiled several methods on how to move forward. The physical security ideas included metal detectors and wands, as well as additional staffing of school resource officers. Each of those, though, would require action from the school board. Other considerations include a revised dress code, a closed campus policy, door alarms, and expanded mental health supports. The district could even take in their clear bag policy to another level. The school board looking into making students store their bags either in lockers or designated storage areas during class time. The school board is expected to discuss all these recommendations at a meeting on Monday night at 6 o'clock. As of right now, they are not expected to implement any of these new safety policies at that meeting. Jason?